This is where you plug in both your power cord and your foot control in one plug. The on-off switch is right here. This is the hand wheel, and you turn your hand wheel in a counterclockwise direction. Here's the bobbin winder spindle. You push it this way to wind your bobbin. Make sure you push it back when you're all done. And this is the stopper for winding your bobbin. Keeps you from overwinding your bobbin. This is a place you can put an auxiliary spool pin if you want to do twin needle sewing, or if you have the kind of spools that like to reel off the side rather than spin off the end like your regular spool pin. It's a handle for carrying your machine. Here we have thread guides. This is your presser foot pressure dial. This regulates how tightly your presser foot presses against your fabric. Most of the time you want it right there at 2. This is the tension disc for your bobbin winding. It's spring-loaded, which helps your bobbin to wind nice and smoothly. This is your thread tension dial. Now most of the time you want it between 5 and 3, but if you want to have less tension on your top thread, you can push it down. And if you want more tension on your thread, you can put it clear up to 9 or anywhere between 9 and 5. But most of the time we want it right here at 4. This is your take-up lever. This is your reverse lever. You push this down in order to go into reverse. Here we have the needle, the business end of the sewing machine. This is the needle clamp bar right here. And here we have a needle threader, really handy feature. For changing your feet, make sure that needle is up at the highest position. All 4 corners, pull straight forward and it comes right off. Just line it up, push it right back in, and you can change your press foot easily. This is a handy ruler here, both in inches and in centimeters. This is your stitch chart here. It has 2 pages in it, both showing for wovens and for knits and leather and vinyl. Right here on your stitch chart is the recommended presser foot pressure. For wovens, it's between 2 and 3. For knits, the presser foot pressure would be between 1 and 2. And for leather and vinyl, it's right here at 2. This is the stitch that you want to do right here, what it would look like, and this is what the picture of it looks like on your stitch selector dial. This is the recommended foot that you would use, and the feet have a letter right here on the side. That's what you'd find to get your A foot, for instance. This is your thread tension, recommended for that particular stitch. This is your length of stitch that you'd want to do. For instance, you'd want it much longer for doing basting and between 2 and 3 for doing regular stitching. This is your stitch length dial. This is your stitch selector dial. Most of the time when you sew straight stitches, you want to be between 2 and 3 right here for your stitch length. Now if you're basting, you want to have that all the way on 4. And if you're just stitching in place, you have it on 0. As you can see, for doing buttonholes, we have a very short stitch length. That's where you would use your stitch selector to do a 4-step buttonhole. For doing zigzag, we have this right here, and of course the stitch length will depend on whether you want to do a very short stitch like a satin stitch or a much longer zigzag. And you can make the zigzag wider or narrower using your stitch selector dial right here. Now the S1, that means all of the blue stitches. The second one's over. S2 means now you have available to you the ones that are third over, or the gray stitches. Put that right back into straight stitch. And straight stitch, this is your center needle position. If you look right here really closely, you can see that that dot is right in the center. Here you have the right needle position. If you look really carefully, you can see the dot is over to the right. For most stitching, you want to have it right here in the middle. Okay, we have the side thread cutter right here for cutting your threads easily when you're done sewing. This is the accessory tray with plenty of room in the front and in the back for all your accessories. The tray comes off to reveal a free arm that you can use for hemming your pants. And in the back here, this is the switch for raising and lowering your feed dogs. To lower your feed dogs, just push it over this way, and you can see your feed dogs go down. Now to bring them back up, just push the switch the other way, like this, and take a stitch, and the feed dogs come right back up. If you found this video to be helpful, give us a like. And if you have comments, questions, or ideas for other videos you'd like to see, let us know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Bye.